This video will show how to mount the MacroLights on an Olympus E-510 DSLR camera with a Zuiko 50mm f2 macro lens. Because of the wide step-up ring set, which reaches from 49 to 77mm, MacroLights fits on all macro lenses on the market, and the controller box fits any standard flash hot shoe. First, unmount the lens hood and the front lens cover. The Olympus Zuiko 50mm f2 macro lens is a bit strange compared to other macro lenses, as the front glass on the lens moves forward as the lens focuses, and when working in the macro area, the lens is almost twice the length. Because of this, Olympus has made a special ring flash mounting tube which fits on the lens front and in which the front glass moves. For mounting the MacroLights on this lens, it is recommended to use the ring flash mounting tube. The lens has a filter thread on the front glass, but because it is moving quite long out of the lens, the weight of the MacroLights lamps and rings may damage the lens. The filter thread on the tube is 67mm, and we therefore need two step-up rings, the 67 to 72mm and the 72 to 77mm. First, assemble the two step-up rings. Screw these on the MacroLights lens ring. When all three rings have been assembled, the rings are screwed onto the Olympus ring flash mounting tube. Now you can mount the ring flash mounting tube with the MacroLights lens ring onto the Zuiko 50mm f2 lens. The tube snaps on when the two locks on the side of the tube have been pressed upon mounting. Check to see if the tube is securely mounted and will not fall off. You are now ready to mount the MacroLights lamp ring with the four mounted lamps on the MacroLights lens ring. When pressing the lamp ring firmly onto the lens ring, it will snap on because of the two pressurized balls on the inside of the lamp ring. You will now be able to adjust the lamp ring by turning it, and the lamps by turning each and moving them on the flexible arms. The MacroLights controller box is simply slided onto the camera flash hot shoe, and the nut is turned until it is tight fastened to secure the box from falling off when moving the camera. The plugs on the spiral cables from the lamps are mounted in the sockets on the front of the box. You may mount them as you like, but we will recommend that you always keep the same order, as it will be much easier to control the lamps when being able to remember which lamps is actually lamp 1, 2, 3 and 4. You may now test if the MacroLights works by turning on the lamps. This is done by pressing the two buttons on the rear of the box in the startup order: lamp, adjust, lamp, within a period of 10 seconds. All lamps should be turned on at full power, and the blue indication light for lamp 1 on the rear will also turn on. For taking macro pictures or video, we recommend using the live view function. Turn on MacroLights and the camera. Then choose the live view function with the appropriate key. With the Olympus E-510, there is a dedicated key for live view. Now it is easy to either making an automatic focusing or change to manual focus. White balance should be set to daylight or 6500 degrees Kelvin, and taking the picture in RAW mode will give you more control on the picture when developing it. We will recommend using aperture priority, as this gives you good control of the shutter speed by choosing the ISO and the aperture. You may have to compromise between the three values depending on the distance from the object and the darkness. If you have a flat object, you may choose a low f value to have low ISO and high speed, but if you need a long depth of field, you have to choose a higher f value, and then you may need higher ISO or lower aperture, or a combination of both. You will of course have to experiment and get the experience. We at MacroLights would like you to share your experience with other users in the community at macrolights.com.